Hello everybody, welcome to week 14, and this is our, wow, we only have 3 weeks left in the semester. I can't believe it's gone so fast, and it's been so fun reading all of your justice papers the last week. I've just seen so much growth from the shitty first draft to the second draft and to the third draft. It's just been really, really fun to see. So good job out there on all of your writing. I wanted to tell you that we're going to start by looking at our overview here. So here's what we're doing this week. You have your lovely assignment schedule that's right here, and this video will be, of course, posted right here when I'm done with it. But make sure that you're printing out your course schedule, and that will tell you exactly what you have to do. And again, I want to just remind you that you should be doing everything in order, especially this week, because this week it's going to matter that if you do things out of order, it's not going to make sense. So just make sure that you're going to follow these categories in order. So the first thing on our agenda is to finish up the rhetorical mode essay, finish up that justice paper. Your final draft is due on Tuesday. The due date, I'm going to leave the assignment folder open until 11:30 at night. Of course, I like it at noon because then I can get started on it earlier. But if you are in a crunch time, I think everybody is feeling a little bit crunched for time this week. I know that I am. So if you're crunched for time, that's fine. It will be open until 11:30. Just be sure to get it in on Tuesday, because on this week is when we start our very last unit for the semester. And I want you to get started on that because that stuff is going to be really important for your last composition assignment. So here's what you're going to have to remember for your rhetorical mode essay is that you're going to have your final draft in there. It's going to be polished, perfect, grammar checked, spell checked, punctuation checked. You're going to look and make sure that all of your paragraphs are indented. You're going to make sure that all of your citations are correct. You're going to make sure that your punctuation is tucked inside the quotation marks. You're going to make sure that your dialogue is punctuated correctly. You're going to make sure that you have great transitions between your paragraphs. And you're going to make sure that you have at least 10 sources, and 3 of those 10 have to be the expository texts from our justice types. And if you want a higher grade in that category than a C, then you're going to do 11. Okay? I have a lot of people that are going and finding different texts because their papers have gone in some really cool directions. That's just fine. Just make sure to check with me and keep me posted on that so I'm not like, what is that, when I'm reading. Okay, so your final draft, polished, perfect, gorgeous. And then you also are going to have a metacognitive letter, just like we did for your personal narrative, and that is posted in the same folder with your justice paper. And then make sure that you have a correct and culled works cited page. And culled means that you're only putting the texts that are in your paper on your works cited page. You don't want a big one that has every text that we've ever mentioned. Just the texts that are in your paper, your 11-ish texts, listed in alphabetical order with your hanging indentation, essays and articles in quotes, short stories in quotes if they're from books, and then the container, whether it's a book or a website or whatever, is italicized, right? So make sure that you have all of that done. And if you have questions, you can always email me, but I'm going to encourage you to go and check the OWL as well because it's all there. And I know it is not like a fun, exciting place, but it has all the information that you need there. All right, so here is the list of everything that's in this assignment folder, so you can see that there is the grading sheet, so you know what you're doing. I've been posting that for a couple of weeks now, so it shouldn't be a surprise to you. There's the metacognitive letter form, so you can look at that and see what's required. Here is this, and I've put in almost everything. I think I might go back in and throw in that video about works cited pages. I didn't do that yet, so I will probably do that when I'm done with this, but all of the directions and everything is right here. And then here, of course, is your assignment folder. So in the assignment folder, you should have your paper and your metacognitive letter. And then some of you like to have your works cited on the end of your paper, and that's just fine. But if it's not, that's fine too. You can just upload that as a separate document. So whatever you are comfortable with there, and I'm so excited to read them. You guys have worked so hard on that. This is such a big paper, and I'm just so proud of you for working as hard as you have and doing such a good job on it. You just should feel really proud of yourselves. Nice job. The next thing that we're going to be doing is we are going to be doing argument. This is our last unit for the semester is on argument, and we are going to be revisiting rhetorical analysis and the rhetoric crash course. So I would like you to begin, after you're done with your justice paper and you have it all posted and everything, I would like you to begin with the rhetoric crash course. We did part 1 right after we were done with the personal narrative, and so it will look familiar. And the video that I have in here for the rhetoric crash course is right here, and Jan is going to be talking to you on that video. It is her video, and she did such a great job on it. And so we've been sharing materials, and I think you've heard her a couple other times this semester. So you will hear Jan talking to her class. It's fantastic. But if you have questions, you can definitely email me, and that will be fine. But she's going to go over part 1 very briefly as a review, and then she is going to go over the 2 Thank You for Arguing chapters, which are right here. These 2 chapters are where you're going to begin. You're going to read these chapters from Thank You for Arguing, chapter 14 and chapter 26, and then you're going to watch the Rhetoric Crash Course Part 2, which Jan will go over some of the content in those chapters, so it will be a little more clear, and it will reinforce what you've read so you understand it well. This is, of course, I always just put the PowerPoint up in case you want to print it out and write notes on that. I know that that's what I do. So, and I figured it out. If you want to print the PowerPoints and you don't want to have one great big slide on each page, if you go on when you print, it says pages, and if you choose 4 slides per page, that gives you a nice amount of space around the sides of the slide, so you can write on there, and then it's a lot easier, so you're not trying to copy what's on the slide and write notes. So I would encourage you to do that. Then after that, there is this video. This is a TED Talk. It is one of my very favorite TED Talks. In fact, when I am having a really stressful, bad day, I come home and just watch this TED Talk because it's on happiness, and it is fantastic and funny, and I just love it so much. I know that you're going to love it too. So you're going to watch that TED Talk, and it's posted in this folder of Rhetoric Crash Course Part 2. That's where you're going to find the Sean Archer TED Talk. Jan's going to mention it in the Rhetoric Crash Course as well, but you can't click on it because it's a video, so it's not really, you can't get into the PowerPoint to click on it. So you're going to have access through this, through content and through this folder. So you'll find it there, and then there is a discussion board, a mentor text discussion board, where you're going to go through the TED Talk and you're going to apply what you learned in the Rhetoric Crash Course with the Sean Archer TED Talk, and really it's so good, and there's a lot of clarity there. So I'm excited to read what you have to say there. All right, the other things you have to do after you're done with the rhetoric crash course, then you're going to be revisiting rhetorical analysis. And we did rhetorical analysis, again, right after your personal narrative. We did the first 2 pages of a rhetorical analysis worksheet. There's usually 4. And we did those the first 2 pages for Everyone Deserves a Defense and for the Guilty Project. And we're not going to revisit the Guilty Project. It's just really long, and I think that we spent a whole lot of time with it the last time. We are going to begin with Everyone Deserves a Defense. We're going to go back to the first 2 pages and review how to do that. And then I'm going to take you through the last 2 pages with that text, since you're already familiar with it. It is a video, it is a presentation. You can take notes, so you'll be able to see what's going on. It's a lecture. Then after you're done with Everyone Deserves a Defense, you're going to go to the How to Prosecute Abusive Prosecutors, and this is a voice thread. So this is a guided practice where you're going to read the essay before you come to the voice thread, and then you're going to print out all 4 pages of the rhetorical analysis worksheet, and you're going to be commenting on the voice thread, and then I have my answers that I will share with you after you try it. So that is going to be your guided practice, and it's going to be really important for you to go through that practice. And then you'll do a practice all by yourself with another prosecutor article called Prosecutors Shouldn't Be Hiding Evidence from Defendants. And you're going to read it and complete the entire rhetorical analysis worksheet by yourself, and you're going to upload that into the assignment folder. The reason why this is so important is because our next assignment is going to be doing an argument podcast, and it's only going to be a 5-minute podcast, but what you're going to be handing in is one of these rhetorical mode worksheets that is going to be completed with, oh, my dog's barking, sorry. It's going to be completed with your plan for your argument. So that is what I'm going to be looking at and helping you plan your podcast with that. And so it's really important that you have the background knowledge of how to do this worksheet. And so you can do the worksheet really well, because I'll be grading it, and that will also help you with your podcast. So make sure that you do all of this guided practice and independent practice this week and get that background knowledge, so then next week when we start on our last project, you will understand exactly what you have to do, and it will be easy. Okay, so that's it. Have a great week this week. Celebrate that turning in of your final justice paper. I know that I'm sighing a sigh of relief, because we've been working on it for a really long time, and you've been working so hard on it, and I'm so excited to read your final drafts. Enjoy revisiting rhetoric. I think that you'll enjoy the articles that we have pulled for you this week, and I will look forward to seeing how you do in that voice thread. And I will look forward to hearing from you in my inbox if you're emailing me, or if you need help, you know that you are always welcome to come to my office. I've been having lots of visitors lately, and I have been loving that. So have a great week, and I'll see you next time.